Yes, I remember. Now, I think I have discussed Kharif crop, Rabi crop, the seasons of harvesting and sowing of Kharif crop, sowing and harvesting of Rabi crops, Zaid crops, and cash crops. Now, today I'm going to tell you about what is a plantation crop. Now, monoculture crops which are cultivated over a large area and at an extensive scale. Extensive means in a very big area and in a big huge way, are known as plantation crops. Plantations generally take advantage of economies of scale. Like, economies of scale is a benefit that an organization enjoys when it is operated in huge area. That means this crop is has to be produced in a very large amount to reap its benefit. So, as you produce anything in a large amount, what happens? The production per unit reduces. Like, if suppose, like, if you are in your, say, at your home, like, whenever there are large people, I mean, the amount of people is, or the number of heads are big in amount, what happens? You give an order to whom? To the caterer, right? Why you give the order to him? Because there are huge number, right? And your mother or your home cook won't be able to manage, right? But for your daily requirement, do you order from the catering department or from the catering? No. Why? Because cost always reduces when their per unit rather is more, or reduces when the number of heads are more. Same theory is to be applied here, that if you produce that crop in a huge amount, the cost per unit decreases. And these crops are mostly grown far away from the markets, because if you grow anything in an extensive way, what you need a huge space, right? A big area for its cultivation, and that particular area is not available near the market or near the city. So for which these kind of crops are cultivated far away from the marketplace. So, the common plantation crops are like tea, coffee, and sugarcane. So, tea, coffee, sugarcane are like, if you see in the mountains, especially Darjeeling, half of the mountains are covered with tea leaves, right? Because so it is, or you can cultivate it in a bigger area, but you cannot. But why it is cultivated? Because cost per unit reduces, because those tea has to go through various process as we get to the tea leaves, right? Only the uppermost portion of the tea leaves are can be used for our tea, right? And that has to go into the factory. Sometimes there are lots of varieties of teas are made. Some are variety, so these flavored tea, liquor tea, lot many options perhaps is available. So this is known as the plantation crop. Next is, what do you mean by subsistence farming? SUBSISTENCE. Now what is this farming? Now, subsistence farming is also known as self-sufficiency farming. I think last time I did it. It's mainly done due to maintain the farmer and his family. That means you farm, like, there are small farmlands in a particular area where the farmer only cultivates its own products. It's not sellable in the market. Very little or no surplus exists for trading purposes. This type of farming can be done both for crop and animal farming. Next, I think, is terrace cultivation. I think you people know by now. And then we move on to why irrigation is necessary for agriculture. Now, I think beginning of the chapter discussed about it, but again I am just giving it to you in a brief idea. Now, the we use that, like, requirement of the water or use of the water is mandatory. Actually, it is it we cannot do anything without water apart from agriculture. fine. And regarding agriculture, it is absolutely the most essential thing without which we cannot cultivate. Now, before irrigation facilities were available, agriculture was solely dependent upon the rainfall. That is how the monsoon used to behave. uh, the production of or the agriculture used to of a country, especially our country, was dependent on that. If the rainfall was very good, then you have lots of good news, that is the agriculture was nice. But if there was rainfall was irregular, then we faced droughts. But now it has been the the droughts, famine, they have actually vanished. Why? Because of the incoming of the irrigation. Now, what is irrigation? Mainly we'll see canals and tanks. Irrigation was brought into use, like where you can store water, and you'll see there are a lot of channels or canals that is made in the fields, right? So the crops receive timely and adequate amount of water through irrigation system. Like for instance, during the winter, wheat needs lot of water and it is supplied through irrigation. Now, uh, we must now discuss that what are the harmful effects that are caused by the harmful by Jhum cultivation on the environment. We have already studied what is Jhum cultivation, but there are some harmful effects of that. What are these harmful consequences which the environment suffers with this kind of and cultivation are, like, if you like, it is cutting down of the forested land leads to increase of population. Then air pollution is also caused by burning down the forest. Then again, increase in the soil erosion that leads to what? Sedimentation of rivers. Like, as you know, in soil erosion, like roots, the plants or the trees hold the soil very firmly. It does, and thus stop soil pollution, and hence we always go for afforestation. But here, due to under Jhum cultivation, we have to clear out the forest land, for which what we have to cut down trees, right? We have to fell trees, and uh, which results in the loosening of the soil, right? The soil remains barren and loose, so the erosion is likely, and it also increases the sediment. These sediments, if the river is nearby any river, all the sediments goes and settles into the river, and which is why nowadays our Haldia port has become where actually big ships used to ply, but now it cannot because of the lot of sediments that has been accumulated, which disturbs the flow of the river, which also interrupts trading. So dredging is always required to clear up the mud, which is not at all a very easy process, and it involves a lot of cost. Fine. Next is ecological balances. As you cut trees, you know that the ecological balances, that is oxygen, you are actually vanishing oxygen, right? Next is various plants and animal species die because of the burning of the uh, forest, and many species have faced extinction. So these are the harmful effects of Jhum cultivation. Also must know what is meant by multiple cropping. Now, multiple cropping is where two or more crops are grown in a single growing season and in the same place. Like, for example, it is also known as crop rotation or intercropping and intercropping, in fact. Like a very common example of multiple cropping is growing tomatoes, then it is followed by onions, and then it is followed by marigolds. So, what happens if we do this crop rotation? The productivity of the soil is restored. Now, first, what is this? First, we plant tomatoes, fine, which grows above the ground. Then what we go on to? We go onions will grow under the grounds, fine, and then suddenly we are planting marigolds. So what happens? There is a break. Like marigolds does not require or does not utilize much fertility of the soil. They are all, you know, flowers, right? So this is, and also this marigold, it also helps in killing certain pests, and so there's it is an useful combination. So we must find combination. We cannot plant. This is a kind of combination which has been researched and practiced by the farmers. There are many others combination as well, but it has to be discussed and then practiced, right? So with the people who are specialists in that. We'll start the next chapter today, the tribes of India, page 99. Now, to start with, like India is a place where there are different kinds of people are residing here, and they speak different languages, they practice different religion, they celebrate different types of festivals, they are from different categories or stratas. There is upper class, there are middle class, there are people who are below poverty line. Then there are tribes. Apart from the normal people, there are tribes. So India is a kind of a place where all these things are some way or the other connected with each other, and they are living, and we are living in peace and harmony. Now for instance, our Durga Puja is approaching, so West Bengal is like welcoming Ma Durga in all aspects. Though in this, you know, COVID 19 situations, still our love and respect and excitement for Durga Puja has not been suppressed. We are expressing ourselves in all possible ways to welcome Ma Durga, right? And we are praying that Ma Durga should eradicate this disease forever so that we can live and breathe freely, right? Similarly, after Durga Puja ends, we have Diwali. Okay, then there is Kali Puja. So these are on a continuous process. It's like a festive season all over India. So, so that is why it is said that unity among diversity. We are diversified in all possible ways, but yet we all call ourselves Indians first, right? When we represent ourselves from India outside the country, we are all Indians. Bengali, West Bengal, Kerala, Malayali, Punjab, these do not matter. But we are united, and together we call ourselves Indian. So, this is the chapter which deals with this, as well as there are also a certain kind of people who are mainly among the backward classes. But now, with the enlightenment of education, then our government is also trying their level best to facilitate the backward classes, given them all kinds of reserves, given them scopes in education, in doing jobs. So they are also coming forward. Now, actually, what do you mean by tribes? They are actually a specific social group who have lived, you know, by hunting, animal rearing, food gathering since the ancient times, and their lives mainly depend entirely on the nature.